Have you ever thought about what would happen if you suddenly lost your job or had a medical emergency? Life, as we know, is a beautiful mystery, filled with unexpected twists and turns. One day you're cruising along, everything is going as planned, and then, bam, the unexpected happens. A sudden job loss, a medical emergency, or even an unexpected car repair can hit you like a freight train. No one likes to think about these possibilities, but the truth of the matter is, they are a reality of life. And when these life-altering moments strike, they often come with a hefty price tag attached. Imagine this. You're driving home from work, singing along to your favorite tune, when out of nowhere, your car sputters and dies. You're stranded on the side of the road, and upon further inspection, you discover that your engine has given up the ghost. You need a new one, and it's going to cost you a small fortune. Or perhaps, you wake up one morning with a sharp pain in your stomach. You try to shrug it off, thinking it's just a bad case of indigestion, but the pain persists. You rush to the hospital only to find out that you need an urgent surgery. And just like that, you're faced with a mountain of medical bills. In such times, the last thing you want to worry about is how you're going to pay for these sudden expenses. That's where the importance of financial security and peace of mind come into play. Having a safety net to fall back on in times of uncertainty can make all the difference. It gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters, getting back on your feet, without the added stress of financial hardship. An emergency fund can be your financial lifeboat in these situations, but how do you build one? Stay tuned as we delve into this crucial topic and equip you with the knowledge and tools to safeguard your financial future. Because when life throws you a curveball, you want to be ready to catch it. Think of an emergency fund as your personal financial safety net. It's a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. These unexpected events can be stressful and costly. Here's where an emergency fund comes into play. Imagine this. You lose your job, your car breaks down, or a sudden illness hits. These are all life's curveballs that can lead to financial stress. An emergency fund is designed to cover these unexpected yet crucial expenses without the need to borrow money or sell your assets. It's a buffer between you and the unexpected. This financial safety net ensures that you're equipped to handle life's uncertainties. It provides peace of mind knowing that you have a plan for those what-if moments. It's not a matter of if these events will happen, but when. So, an emergency fund sounds pretty essential, right? But how much should you aim for? Contrary to popular belief, there is no one-size-fits-all answer to how much you should have in your emergency fund. Now, you might have heard of the general rule of thumb that suggests squirreling away 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This sounds quite straightforward, right? But let's dive a bit deeper. What does living expenses mean? It includes your rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation costs, and any other recurring expenses that you absolutely need to cover. But here's the catch. This 3 to 6 months range isn't a magic number that fits everyone's needs. It's just a starting point. Your ideal emergency fund size can vary greatly depending on your personal circumstances. Let's consider a few factors. First up, job stability. If your job is secure and you have a steady income, you might be okay with a smaller emergency fund. On the other hand, if your income fluctuates, or if you're self-employed, you might want to aim for a larger cushion. Next, think about your health status. If you or a family member has a chronic illness or a condition that requires frequent medical attention, a heftier emergency fund would be wise. Then there's the number of dependents you have. If you're single with no kids, 3 months of expenses might be enough. But if you're supporting a family, a bigger safety net would give you more peace of mind. And let's not forget about your lifestyle. If you're someone who loves to live large and splurge occasionally, you might need a bigger emergency fund to cover those unexpected bills. But if you're a frugal person who knows how to stretch a dollar, a smaller fund might suffice. Remember, the goal of an emergency fund is to give you a financial buffer against the unexpected. It's not about reaching a certain number, but about securing peace of mind. Now that you know how much you need, the next question is, how do you start building your emergency fund? Building an emergency fund may seem daunting at first, but with a few smart strategies, it can become a manageable task. Let's dive into some practical steps to start building your financial safety net. Firstly, consider setting up automatic transfers to your emergency fund. This is a simple yet effective tactic. By automating the process, you're making saving a default action, rather than an afterthought. You can set it up so that a small portion of your paycheck goes straight into your emergency fund. Over time, these small amounts will build up without you even noticing. Secondly, reducing unnecessary expenses can significantly speed up the process of building your emergency fund. Take a good look at your spending habits and identify areas where you can cut back. Are you eating out a lot? Do you have subscriptions you don't really use? By trimming these excesses, you can free up more money to put towards your emergency fund. Next, treat your savings like a monthly bill. Just as you wouldn't ignore a utility bill or a rent payment, you shouldn't ignore your savings bill. This mindset shift can help you prioritize saving and ensure it becomes a regular part of your financial routine. Remember, your emergency fund doesn't have to be built overnight. It's okay to start small and increase your contributions as your financial situation improves. The key is consistency. Even if you're only able to set aside a small amount each month, the important thing is that you're making regular contributions. Lastly, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Each time you reach a savings milestone, give yourself a pat on the back. This can be a great motivator to keep going and help you stay committed to your savings goal. Remember, it's not about how quickly you can fill your emergency fund, but rather about consistently contributing to it. So start today, your future self will thank you. So, you have started building your emergency fund, but how do you ensure it stays intact? Well, here's the thing. Maintaining an emergency fund is all about discipline. It isn't a rainy day fund or a piggy bank for your next vacation. No, it's your financial safety net. It's the cash cushion that keeps you afloat when life throws you a curveball. One strategy to help maintain your fund is to keep it in a separate, easily accessible savings account. This way it's out of sight, but still within reach for those real emergencies. This approach helps resist the temptation to dip into it for everyday expenses or impromptu shopping sprees. Remember, it's not about deprivation, but about preparation. Maintaining your emergency fund is like maintaining a garden. You plant the seeds, nurture them, and watch them grow. And when a storm comes, the garden doesn't just survive, it thrives. Having an emergency fund is not just about surviving a crisis. It's about thriving in any situation life throws your way. An emergency fund is more than just money in the bank. It's your ticket to financial freedom. Let's step back and revisit what we've learned. An emergency fund, as we've discovered, is a safety net, a cushion to soften the blow of life's unexpected turns. It's not about hoarding money, but about being prepared, about having a plan when the unexpected knocks on your door. Think about it. Wouldn't it be nice to face an unexpected car repair or a sudden job loss without the added stress of figuring out how you're going to pay for it? That's the magic of an emergency fund. It provides a sense of security, a peace of mind that you simply can't put a price on. Having an emergency fund allows you to make decisions from a place of strength rather than fear. Imagine not having to take the first job that comes your way because you're desperate for income. You can take your time and find a job that truly suits you. Or perhaps you've always wanted to start your own business, but the fear of financial instability held you back. An emergency fund can give you the freedom to take that leap. But let's not forget, building an emergency fund doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey. It requires discipline, commitment, and patience. But the end result? Well, it's worth every penny. The power of an emergency fund is not just in the financial stability it provides, but in the confidence it instills. It empowers you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, to take risks, to dream bigger, and to live life on your terms. And so, we conclude our journey of understanding the importance of an emergency fund. Remember, it's not just about saving money, it's about investing in your future, in your peace of mind, and ultimately, in your freedom. Remember, life is unpredictable, but with an emergency fund, you can be ready for whatever comes your way.